actually was born and raised in Nairobi. Born in one of the main hostels in Nairobi, grew up in Nairobi, went to school in Westlands, that's primary school, went to high school in Westlands, went to university at the University of Nairobi. Then when I was working is when I finally left Nairobi and went to work in Machakos. But I can say that I spent my childhood and early adulthood in Nairobi. Actually, in high school I was a bit confused. I didn't know whether I wanted to do engineering, architecture, medicine. But my sister was a doctor, so, okay, she was a dentist. So she greatly influenced my decision, and she advised me, okay, think about medicine. It's a good career, it's interesting, it'll keep you occupied. And I thought it's not a bad idea. So eventually, by Form 4, I decided, okay, I'm going to do medicine. But it took a while before I got there. Well, I was actually good in many things. I was good in drawing and design. I was good in physics, mathematics. So I got a bit spoiled for options. Oh my God! But at the end of the day, I was interested in the human body. I was interested in how it works. I was interested in biology. So I think I got finally influenced into doing medicine. Yes, actually when I got to med school, I was in shock at how difficult it was in terms of the preclinical years. I mean, I was not used to failing exams. So for the first time, you get an exam and you fail and you're like, whoa, this is interesting. So yeah, you had to really strategize in terms of how you read, how you prepare yourself for exams. And yeah, eventually I had to adapt to that. Yeah. I tried to balance, although at the end of the day, I think I was more towards being a bookworm than anything else. I was joke with my friends, calling each other conso. Yeah, so I think I took it pretty seriously. It's not until I finished med school and went for internship that I think I started now being more relaxed. Although I still did a bit of sports in medical school, some football. I played for the class team. We played rugby. Basketball, we went out a few times. Okay, not a few times, more than a few. We enjoyed ourselves, although still remained focused. Yeah, I mean, you really need to balance your life, because if you take it too seriously, okay, by too seriously meaning that you don't have anything else that you're doing in your life, you can get a bit down. It needs a balance. You need to have a social life. You need to meet people. You need to go out. You need to be. You need to be the age that you are at that time, and I think it's important because that socialization is also important for your future. It's also important to develop yourself all around. So yes, it can be tough because medicine is very demanding. You end up spending a lot of time reading, and a lot of time maybe in the clinics, in the hospital, and very little time to do social activities and being social. So it's important to try and find a balance in a way that you can be able to still pass your exams, but have a social life. Again, I didn't choose ENT immediately after undergraduate. I did my internship, and actually during internship I was sure I was going to do gynecology. In fact, I was even planning for that. And well, I spent more time in the gynae wards and more time doing gynae work. Then I started realizing this is not what exactly I want. I still wanted to do something surgical, but that was not general surgery. So then an interesting concept came up of ENT. I talked to some friends who had done ENT, and they really encouraged me, and I thought, yeah, this is where I need to go, and I have no regrets since. Um, well, I think after undergrad, I, I think I went down the road for a specialty which I wouldn't end up doing. So I spent a lot of time in gynae and obstetrics, and eventually came to find out that that's not what I wanted to do. No. No, I hadn't signed my postgraduate, but I had been involved in more gynae and obstetric work in the Department of Gynecology and Obstetrics in Machakos. I had thought that that was my interest, but with time I realized that I also needed a balance in terms of time, which I felt that personally that gynae would not give me. So that's when I said that I need to go to another field. Other challenges. I believe maybe during the undergraduate time, it was a challenge to find a balance between clinical work and social activities. Yeah, but I think I finally got that. In postgrad, main challenge, I don't know. I think by that time I'd already kind of found a balance in my life, so it wasn't a major issue. Okay, I'll tell them to think about the senses that they have. That's a sense of hearing, sense of smell, taste, and now build around those senses, because what ENT is doing is sorting out those senses in case there's an issue. But ENT is quite a wide field. We're talking about not only ears and hearing, but also ear surgery and basoskull, and that is now posterior basoskull. If you talk about the nose, it's not just the nose, it's the nose and the sinuses, plus anterior basoskull, which means you can even do like pituitary surgeries through the nose. And then we'll talk about the throat, which is not only the tonsils, because a lot of people think ENT is mostly about tonsils. Yes, tonsils are a major part of it, but there's a lot more apart from tonsils. There's also issues of larynx, voice, speech, which are part of ENT. And then we talk about head and neck. So head and neck, mostly soft tissues of the face, including plastic surgery of the face, Botox, dealing with glands, including salivary glands of the face, like parotid glands, submandibular gland, and also thyroid surgery, which is in the neck. So that is also part of ENT. So if you think about anything above the clavicle minus the brain and the eyes, I think you'll be dealing with ENT. Wow, okay. I mean, you marry who your heart wants, or you get married to who your heart wants. But of course, if you spend more time with medics, you spend more time with people in your profession, you're more likely to marry someone in your profession. But that doesn't mean that you need to marry a medic or a person in your profession. If you're more outgoing, you'll always find someone else from another field. But there's nothing wrong with marrying a medic either. At least they understand you also. They also know what you go through, they understand what your profession entails. So, I mean, it's okay, it's good. Yes, quite a bit. I try to get involved in other things outside my profession. In terms of sports, you'd be surprised, but I actually do boxing. Before I got a major, small kind of injury, but I think I'm recovering. Yes, I am a boxer. I play golf. I swim. So those are the major sports aspects that I take part in. In terms of other activities, I also am an ornithologist. If you don't know what that is a bird watcher. Yeah. I love traveling. Of course, unfortunately, time is also a bit of a restriction, but whenever I find time, I love doing road trips and camping and hiking as well. I'm also involved in charity work. I'm involved in Operation Eardrop. I'm involved in the Kenya ENT Society, where I'm the vice chairman. I'm involved in entrepreneurship through hospitals like City Health Hospital, Plaza Specialist Hospital in Machakos, Garden Specialist Hospital in Nairobi. So I'm also an entrepreneur and a family man. I'm married with 2 children. I try to spend as much time as I can with them. Of course, being a medic, that is also quite a task. But yes, that is where I spend the rest of my time if I'm not working. Follow your heart, follow your dreams. You can be anything you want. It's just about focus. That is focusing what you want and going for it. But also, don't get lost in only academic work. Okay, you also need to have a social life. You need to broaden your perspectives. Do sports if you can, if you enjoy it. If you like music, be a musician also. I mean, you can do many other things apart from medicine. But remember, you can always be whatever you want to be. It's just that you need to focus on it. So I would say that be encouraged. Don't feel like it's so difficult. Many people have gone through this and have succeeded, so you're also going to succeed. By the way, you're not there by mistake. If you're there, it's because you deserve to be there. So don't feel like you can't get through it.